What's up, guys? It's your boy Gabe the Champ, back to bring you some more One Piece content. And today we're going to be discussing the first of a 3-part series talking about Haki. So if this is the kind of content you guys like, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So let's jump into it. What is Haki? So Haki is basically a spiritual type of energy that innately everyone in the One Piece world has. So whether it's something that you're born with and you have it, and you have an abundance of it, or if it's something that you can just learn. Everyone in the One Piece world has the ability to learn some type of Haki. It's just not something that everyone has either learned about or has the ability to grasp it. So let's move on. So basically there are 3 types of Haki. We have Observation Haki, Armament Haki, and Conqueror's Haki. So today we're going to be talking about Observation Haki. The other 2 forms of Haki will be coming out in future videos, so definitely stay tuned and look out for those. So Observation Haki can give the user the ability to sense someone's presence, their emotions, and even their intent. So these are things that we did learn early on in the show, and there were plenty of foreshadowing in the pre-time skip, because most of Haki wasn't pretty much explained to us until a little bit towards the end of the pre-time skip. So we started to get some more understanding about what Haki potentially could be in the Amazon Lily arc and also even in Marineford. So it wasn't until afterwards when we meet Rayleigh that Rayleigh starts to give us a lot more deep diving into Haki. The first usages that we were seeing of Observation Haki was in Skypia, where we actually didn't really know much about it. So to start off with, like I mentioned, Skypia. On Skypia, they called it mantra. And at first we were, I remember when I was reading One Piece and I was like, what? How are these guys able to dodge and unsee what moves the Straw Hats were gonna do? Not only that, Anel was able to hear things from everywhere, all over the island, and I pretty much looked at this guy and was like, yo, this guy is hacks. How are they going to be able to defeat this guy? Of course, in One Piece, we know the good guys are always going to win. So they were able to eventually overcome them. So Skypia, they called it mantra, and they had basically an advanced level of Observation Haki because they were able to slightly see into the future, which we're going to get into in a few minutes. So what I was mentioning as far as what was the first mentions, the foreshadowing was when Blackbeard first met Luffy on Jaya. He was able to actually use Observation Haki at that point and tell what level of strength Luffy had. So we're not aware of this at first, but it wasn't until their next meeting when Luffy meets Blackbeard and Impel Down, and Blackbeard tells Luffy that his level of Haki has increased. He can tell that Luffy's level of Haki has increased. So Luffy has Haki at this point, and we didn't even know what the hell Haki is. But apparently Luffy's Haki got stronger. Then the next time we see it is in Marineford, when Kobe starts going crazy because he can feel everyone's emotions. It's like he gets so overwhelmed because everyone is dying. So many people are feeling so much pain and they're dying, and he can almost feel their pain. So I remember when I was seeing this and I was like, wow, Kobe has some ability that we have no idea what it is, but he's going to be important later on down the line. The next mention of it would be in Dressrosa. So we have another Straw Hat who awakens Observation Haki. Now, Usopp was able to see through walls, so he was able to see the people's aura. So now we're getting sensing presence on another level, because then they also showed this a little bit later on as well with Fujitora. So in the same arc, Fujitora uses Observation Haki, and I feel like Fujitora has to be using Observation Haki 24/7 since he can't see, and he's just able to see everyone based off of their aura. So we get this basically understanding that you don't necessarily need to see in order to sense someone's presence. The cool thing to me about Observation Haki is it's very similar to things that you can kind of see in a lot of other anime, where users of some type of spiritual energy are able to sense other people's presence or sense their level of strength or their power or whatever the case may be. You can reference Dragon Ball Z when they're able to read power levels, understanding their chi energy, and even in Bleach when people were sensing someone's Ryatsu was coming, someone from far away, like, yo, their spiritual pressure of this person that's coming is very strong. So understanding that people can sense other people's energy, like having this sixth sense, this additional ability to sense someone's spiritual energy, isn't a new concept to anime, but I just love what Oda has done with it and brought it up to levels. So now we're going to talk about some advanced levels of observation haki. So we didn't fully understand advanced levels of observation haki until we got to Whole Cake Island. So I'll bring up two of these, and one of them was more obvious and one of them was a little bit more like you had to kind of like really be paying attention to understand it. The more obvious example for everyone from Whole Cake Island was when Luffy was using Future Sight, when he learned to use Future Sight in the fight with Katakuri. So Katakuri had the ability to sleep a bit into the future, and we learned this from Capone when we first had Katakuri introduced, and that's what made him so scary, so difficult to defeat, because his observation haki was on an unprecedented level that we haven't seen yet in the story. So Katakuri was able to see not just like a second or two, it was like a few seconds, because he could like see like a whole exchange that was going to play out, or somebody was going to get hurt or whatever the case may be, and he was able to stop those things from happening and basically change the future. So Luffy was able to learn this, and then we get Luffy's training, and we see him training with the blindfold so that he can be able to sense the presence, and not just that, but then understanding and sensing the intent behind someone's attack, or even if they're not attacking, just sensing their intent in general. So Luffy trained with animals. Animals are not really able to hide their intent, not really able to hide their presence. They use animal instinct. So it was easy for him to start with fighting against animals, and then eventually Rayleigh forcing him to dodge 100 attacks, which definitely didn't look like it was easy. So the other instance from Whole Cake Island that I wanted to mention was Pudding. So a lot of people don't necessarily know this, but Pudding was able to use observation haki on a different level. So like I mentioned before, one of the things about observation haki is also sensing others' emotions. Now, I feel like this is also how Luffy is able to pick his crewmates.
私には行くあても帰る場所もないの。だからこの船に置いて。なんだ、そっか。そりゃしょうがねえな。いいぞ。ラフィー！心配すんなって。こいつは悪いやつじゃねえから。
And also able to, fight against some of his villains. It was a perfect fight for, the Katakuri fight was a perfect instance for them to flash back to when Luffy was saying this to Rayleigh, when he was saying it depends on the kind of person that they are, as far as like how he'll be able to defeat them.
世界の強者には少し未来が見えるというものもいる。
未来？
そんなやつに出くわしたらどうする？2年の修行でさすがにその域にはいけまい。手強いぞ。
相手がどんなやつかによるな。
ん？敵の性格？気になるか？考えたこともなかった。
あ、なるだろう。
おかしなやつだな。
So it's like, what do you, at the time I was like, what does that even mean? Like, if they have a good personality, or, like you're just not going to fight them the same way. I didn't understand that until I really understood a bit more about observation haki. So as I was saying with Pudding was able to hide her true intent. So so she was able to fool the Straw Hats and basically make them believe that she was on their side when she was really bad. So this is the first time we're getting we're getting instances like this. And I feel like that was an advanced form of observation haki, because this is not something that a lot of people can do. And it makes sense that she can have something like this. Her mom is Big Mom, you know, some type of genetics that are involved in there, as far as like something that can be inherited. Inheriting strength from your parents is something that we do see in the story. A lot of the really strong people in the story do have a parent who was a very strong pirate, or any type, some other type of lineage. So we covered being able to sense others' emotions, intent, and presence. Now, as far as with the advanced forms, we've seen an advanced form of sensing someone's intent, which is basically future sight. Once you're able to understand what they're trying to do, you can almost kind of predict what the next move may potentially be. And then we have sensing someone's emotions, when we see that with Kobe, when he's able to sense how everyone is feeling. And then now another higher level of that is someone like Pudding, who's able to hide her feelings. And now the last one I was going to kind of touch on was presence, sensing someone's presence. And then we have on Zoe, now this is a bit of speculation because we never got any type of, we never got any explanation for this specifically. But when the Straw Hats got to Zoe, and at first they were seen as enemies, the Minks did not show themselves at first. And so they were attacking Luffy and the others. Now, once they seen that Luffy and them were good guys, they actually started to come out. Now, when Luffy saw how many of the Minks were there and he was surrounded, it was mind-boggling to him, because he was usually able to sense when other peoples were there, but it seemed as though the Minks were able to hide their presence. So can this potentially be an advanced form of haki? Who knows? Hopefully later on down the line, Oda will give us a little bit more of an explanation. So that pretty much wraps up Observation Haki. Definitely stay tuned for the next two parts of this series, where we'll be talking about Armament and Conqueror's Haki, and also, adding in a little bit of speculation and theories to each of these topics. Appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is your boy Gabe D Champ. Peace.